Welcome to the Yuribruce podcast. On today's episode, we're going to be talking about, what are we going to talk about today? I don't know. Let me just see. Let me see my notes here. We're going to talk about having kids and being with a Filipina. I'm going to be very open and honest with you about my experience with it as much as I can be. And then retiring in the Philippines, the SRRV, is that what it's called? SRRV. It's retiring in the Philippines. My personal take on it. And I would also like to talk about the challenges of a Malaysian couple and a Black and Asian couple. And then what else can we talk about? Then I'm just going to open it up. I'm just going to talk about whatever. And I'm going to read some of my comments. That should be interesting. I'm going to take any kind of live comments I get. And that's it. Let's get into this. Okay. I want to talk to you guys because how can I address this properly? All right. This is a sensitive topic because a lot of guys that I talk to online, they're getting married or are married and they have kids already, and they're getting married to a younger person who is who either doesn't have kids or does have kids. And what I want to talk about is, what I want to just be very frank about is that you have to be ready for something. Be ready for a clash between your kids and your Filipina, or between yourself and their kids. You know, and it's kind of obvious if you think about it, because the relationship is between you and her, or you and him. Not necessarily with the kids. The kids is like something you have to adjust to. And I just want to talk about how there's bumps in the road. Like none of it was perfect, you know. And there's going to be, there have been clashes, especially I have teenage kids. And so, you know how teenagers are. If you have teenagers, you know what I'm talking about. But there may be clashes between your Filipina or whoever, international wife or spouse, or you know what, not even just international, domestic spouse, whoever. You have kids, and there's going to be clashes between them and your new fiance, your new wife. And sometimes it's pretty bad. And the way that I've been able to get through it, well, number one, let me back up. I just want you to make sure you are prepared for it, because it's almost guaranteed going to happen, where you have a clash between your new wife and your kids. And sometimes it's like your kids, especially if they're younger kids, they're vying for attention. Like some kids, my kids didn't have this issue, but they're vying for your attention. They're jealous that you are giving your attention to this new person. That's one situation. Another situation is where the kid's just an asshole and they want to get their way all the time. And your new spouse isn't giving them their way, and now they're bumping heads. I would say how I've been able to get through all of this and make a family is to make sure that both sides understand that they have to respect each other. I'll sit down with my kids and say, listen, this is how, and they understand, like, both sides. You have to talk to both sides. You have to talk to your wife about the boundaries, and whatever boundaries you have with the kids, and respect goes both ways. You know what I mean? You need to give your wife, of course, she needs to have the respect of a parent. It's not their real mom or whatever. They're not their real dad or whatever. But that person, your partner, your life partner, needs to have the respect of your kids. And you need to instill that in your kid. They need to know, listen, you need to have respect for my wife. And then your wife has to have respect for the kids. It has to go both ways. So that's how I've been able to get through it. And it's not always it's going to be bumps in the road is how I'll put that. It's something to where you have to balance it out as the man, as the person bringing this together. If I'm talking to you, if you're listening to me right now, you're the person who has to be the balance of forces. And both parties need to respect one another. They don't have to like each other, but they have to respect each other. That respect goes a really long way. So that's how I've been able to get through it, and I hope that this can help someone to understand. Like, number one, understand that this is going to be something that can happen in your, you got to be real. You got to be real about it. You're going to have bumps in the road. There's going to be times when this kid is disrespectful. There's going to be times when your spouse gets upset. There's going to be times when, people make mistakes. And I think that ultimately you have to make both parties understand that respect is it's not optional. It has to have, both parties have to have respect, period. Now, both have to earn each other's respect, and that's kind of out of your hands. Like, that's something that you have to develop over time. Expect it, and then talk to each part and make sure they know that they have to respect each other. That's how I did it. And no, it's not perfect, but it is a family, and just like any family, you have issues. Hey guys, thank you for joining me. Sorry about the technical issues. I see NC Biggs, I see DC, I see Retired and Happy in Medellín. What's going on, man? If you guys didn't know, my man Retired and Happy in Medellín is literally in Colombia, literally in Medellín, the land of milk and honey. Living his best life. Go ahead and check him out. Retired and Happy in Medellín. If you are trying to retire overseas, if you're trying to get out of the matrix, one place that you should probably keep in mind is Colombia. I know a lot of people who follow me are really, really focused on some part of Southeast Asia, namely the Philippines. But one thing you should probably consider is Colombia and other South American countries. Now, I personally don't know a lot about it. I only know a couple things, but if you go ahead and check out my man Retired and Happy in Medellín, ask him questions, go ahead and check out his content and follow him. He is gonna show you what's up. Hey, Jackie Brown, how you doing? I got Kev B here. I got Robert Morris. Thank you guys for joining me. I appreciate everybody. I am going to be taking any kind of comments. I'm going to be reading through these, just kind of be more interactive. I apologize in advance for some of the crazy, lewd, insane things you're about to see in my comment box right here. But the nature of the beast, people are allowed to say whatever the hell they want. I don't block people. I take that back. I do block some people when they're talking about killing people and stuff like that. I have to block them. But yeah, that's that. Big Truck Series, that's my man. This guy right here has like 70,000 followers. Go check him out. Real smart dude, really successful guy. The more I get to know him, the more I'm very impressed with him. So go ahead, check him out. What is the other thing I wanted to talk to you guys about? There was something else that I thought was really important. Oh yeah, okay. This is a topic that comes up quite a bit about retirement. People saying that they want to retire in the Philippines, and I want to explain why me and Yuri are personally not retiring in the Philippines. I mean, I'm pretty sure we're not going to retire in the Philippines. It's kind of a plan C for us, and I just want to explain why it's a plan C for us. Retiring in the Philippines, like right now, if we wanted to, we could do it. We've been grinding so hard over the past few years that we were able to make a passive income that would allow us to do it. And it could work, but we want to make enough to actually retire. First off, retire in the U.S. It's just a real good life for us here. You know, I'm not going to lie. It's just a real good life for us here. And Philippines, the reason why we've ruled that out somewhat is that, and let me see, Random Verity says, no retirement in the Philippines. Not for me. I think it's cool that people like Black Filipino and American Expat and Bobby Dix and Big Truck Series and Rent and all these other people want to do it. I think that's really cool, and I can't wait to see your journey. But me personally, I'm not gonna do it. And one of the reasons why is it's overpopulated is a big one for us personally. It's just too populated there. Like we both don't like being in super overpopulated places, and that Philippines is like one of the most overpopulated places in the world. And now after COVID-19, to be honest with you, with all these babies being made and a nonstop barrage of babies being made right now in the Philippines because people are indoors, it's going to be even more crowded than ever. So no, we're not. That's one of the main reasons. Another thing is the poverty. The poverty really bothers us. You know, it's just not. I just feel like I can't. It's not something I could be around and not want to do something about. You know what I mean? I'm definitely gonna do something about. You know, we have huge plans to do something for the Philippines, for Filipinos. You know, especially those who can't do for themselves, little kids and stuff like that. We have huge plans for that, but to live there around a government that I feel is not doing enough, and maybe they don't have the capacity to do enough. I don't know, but I just recall a couple incidents where we're in the city, we're partying, you know, out at night, partying and stuff, and then we go back home, you know, kind of tipsy or whatever, and we're having to step over little kids who are sleeping on the sidewalk, and I'm like, you know, of course we would take care of them and stuff, and you know, bring food or whatever, but it bothers me a lot. You know, it's not something that I just don't feel. It's like a dystopian reality there, and I just think that sometimes I feel like Americans don't fully appreciate it. I don't know if they don't care or have empathy for it or whatever, and that's none of my business, but I personally really feel bad about it, you know, and feeling bad about it is not going to make it go away. I know, you know, it's just that to be in a place that I don't know if they condone it. I don't know if that's the right word for it, but they're not doing enough about it. To me, it's just how I'm gonna be there and be wealthy, you know, by American standards. I'll be wealthy there, and I'm stepping over poor people. Like I don't know. And then the third reason, the first reason is overcrowded. We both have a problem with it. The second reason, big one, is the poverty levels there. We plan on creating businesses and creating foundations and all kinds of stuff we're going to personally do there, right? Whether we live there or not, by the way. But the third thing is I feel like there's a lot of government incompetence, and that's not to say that our government doesn't have the same thing. But there's a lot of government. It's just a slow all the processes and stuff there are really slow, and it's just a lot to deal with. And that's another thing that really I'm pretty sure that's one of the third reasons that we're not personally going to go there. But yeah, I mean, so let me see. This couple people are saying here. Big Truck Series says, my Filipino girlfriend would prefer to live in the U.S. I would prefer to live in Manila. He says, as a New Yorker, overpopulation is for me, it's a daily thing, man. I couldn't deal with it, man. I don't know how you do it. Big Trucker says, the poverty and lack of access to good health care is my problem wanting to retire there. Oh, man, I feel you on that one. I absolutely agree. You know, that's one real big problem I have with the U.S. is that our lack of health care and how expensive it is here. That is really a problem. And I, you know, honestly, I don't know what we're going to do here. Like, I think we have to fly to Thailand to get medical procedures and then have a vacation or something. I don't know. But it's just too expensive here. That is for sure. So, yeah, I do not blame anyone for it. I totally understand why you would not want to live in the U.S. I get it. I really do get it. And I don't judge personally. I really get it. And I know some guys who do really, really, really well there. So, yeah, no judgment here. And I want to see your journey. I hope you continue to record when you get there. I can't wait to see your videos. Big Rob in the house. How you doing, man? Kev says Manila has it bad, poor and homeless. It does, man. And I can only imagine what's going on now, right? It's got to be bad right now with what's going on. I mean, it was already bad before, but I mean, it's got to be bad. So I personally don't want to do it. I just don't think it's a good idea to put myself in that position. I don't think they handle calamities well. You know, I love the Philippines. I love Filipinos. I love the attitude. It's a beautiful place. The people are awesome. I never had a bad experience there. You know, I love the culture. I love the food. I love everything about the Philippines, but I just hope that the poverty, you know, the poverty and some of the other government issues can be taken care of. And it is overpopulated, you know, for my taste, it's a little bit overpopulated. So that's two of the reasons why we're not personally going to retire there. But that's not to say you know, it's still an option for us, by the way, you know, so I'm not completely ruling it out, but it's just, for me personally, it's just it's a lot, you know. It's just a lot, you know what I'm saying? So yeah. Random says that last flood was crazy. Yeah, you know, one time I was there, I was in the Philippines, I was in Cebu, and there was a flood, and it was pretty bad. It was pretty bad. Like the flood came up to like our knees. And I was just thinking to myself, man, the infrastructure here, like, why don't they fix the, you know, I don't know. Mr. Mike T. Man, how you doing, man? He says, yes, it's very rough in PI right now. It has given me a pause to retire there. Yeah, I would. A lot of foreigners don't really talk about it a lot. There was one dude named Ned who used to talk about it, and Philippine Dreams, I think, is the name of his site. Well, I don't know if I don't really watch a lot of the expat videos anymore, but he used to talk about the reality of it, you know, without sugarcoating it. Because a lot of guys, they only talk about, you know, the women, or they talk about clubbing, or, you know, how awesome, you know, their life is there. And myself, like, I'm thinking about the people there. I'm thinking about the Filipinos there who are living in that lifestyle. I don't know. I mean, I guess it's just me overthinking things. I mean, because I do the same thing here too, locally, by the way. You know, when I'm in Denver and I'm seeing all these homeless people surrounding buildings and stuff, I'm thinking to myself, man, we got to fix this. We have to fix this, you know, locally. But the Philippines is a whole different level of poverty, you know what I'm saying? So that really bothers me a lot. And I really Yuri and I really plan on doing something big there, as far as like jobs and like really helping people in a real way, you know, not just lip service, not just one time, but like really helping out there. Because I really feel for the people there. And I don't feel like the government's doing enough personally. I mean, they're doing what they can, but it's just not enough. Kev says, people are awesome to a point. They have a crab mentality. Those who do well will have haters. You know, and it's not just the Philippines. It's definitely here too. You know, I mean, me myself coming from a very poor, very hard harsh environment. It was the same. It's the same thing. You know, people don't like to see you succeed, or so I don't know, like psychologically I personally don't understand it. When I see somebody succeed, I'm asking them questions like, man, how did you do that? You know, wow, you have 3 properties, that's incredible. How did you? And then sometimes if you just ask, they'll tell you how they did it, and then you could do it. You know what I mean? So I personally am not a hater, but having been around a lot of them, I know what you mean. Kev says, I want to retire there, but they have a lot of restrictions and paper trail is hell. It exactly. That was my third point right there, is that the paper, like just the stuff we've had to go through, Yuri and I had to go through just to like tell them that she's married. Like just she had to do this document. We had to get her passport renewed, her Filipino passport renewed. And we had to fly to another state twice. Like the first time we went, they're like, nope, we don't. We gave them the papers. They're like, this isn't the original copy. It was the original copy, right? But then they had to take it, mail it back to the Philippines, do some stamp on it, and send it back. I'm like, what was the point of that? You know what I mean? What was it? I guess it's because there's so many people faking documents there that they want to see the original, and then they want to authenticate it. But it was like, man, you're going to put a Filipino citizen through this much hassle. You know, I don't know. Maybe it's just like first world problems, like me. I'm just complaining too so much, you know, because I've had it so easy here. But I'm personally not gonna retire in the Philippines, and I can't see myself doing it. You know, I'm gonna help from afar. That's the plan for me personally. All right, let me check out some of the comments here. I got 18 people on here. Thanks for watching, guys. I appreciate everybody. Let me see. What do we have here? Somebody asked a really good question about something called the SRRV? SRRV or is it SRVV? And what's going on with it? Speaking of retiring, I just kind of wanted to talk about it real quick and get on what's going on really, for real, over there. Let's check this out. Okay, so it's SRRV, and it's Special Resident Retirees Visa. Now, right here, I'm on a government site. Oops, let me switch screens here. I'm on a government site, a Philippines government site that is explaining what the SRRV is, and it's the Special Resident Retiree Visa. Is a special non-immigrant visa for foreign nationals who would like to make Philippines their second home or investment destination. And a lot of Chinese citizens do this. A lot of Europeans do this. A lot of Americans do this. But for the most part, it's mostly other Southeast Asian people, mostly Chinese people do this. And what's happened is recently, believe it's getting suspended. So let's just get the facts here. Let's not get emotional. Let's just straight up talk about facts. So what you're looking at here is another government site, and this is the what is this? The Philippines Retirement Authority. That's what this is. PRA is Philippines Retirement Authority. It says order to suspend special visa issuances. And now, so this is not made up, guys. This is directly from a site from the Philippines government, by the way. And it's saying that this was in October 23rd. This is one of the main visas that people use to stay there. Yeah, I'm seeing you guys' messages, by the way. I'm going to jump on that. Let me just get through this real quick. The Philippines Retirement Authority was ordered to suspend the issuance of special retiree resident visas, SRRV, pending the amendments of policies on age and visa deposit requirements, the Department of Tourism said Friday. Okay, so what they're talking about, I think, is if you go to the Philippine Embassy.no, they kind of break down some of the requirements of the SRVV here. And so here's some of the requirements right here. So there's age requirements. You have to have a certain amount of money coming in, a valid passport, of course. You need to have a medical exam. You need to, it says certification of the PRA shortlist bank of required deposits. You have to have a certain amount of money coming in. It says with a pension, 50 years old. So if you're 50 years old, you have to have a pension. And the required time deposit is US 10,000. You got to put $10,000 in an account of their I guess that I don't know if they have a short list of banks that you have to use and deposit that $10,000 plus a month's pension of $800 for a single applicant and $1,000 for a couple. So $10,000 down up front, and then $800 for one person, $1,000 for a couple in the bank. And then without pension, let's say you don't have a pension, but your age is 35 to 49, you have to have a deposit of $50,000. Oh my Lord, time deposit. And if you're 55 or 50 and above, and have no pension, you have to put $20,000 in a time deposit. Former Filipino citizens, it says have to have $1,500 in that deposit. And let me see, there's other rules here for different people, ambassadors, foreign countries, 1,500. So okay, so it looks like they're going to change, they're pending changing that rule, those rules I just read, amending policies on age and visa deposit requirements. There you go, right there. So they're changing that. And so for the time being, they have suspended the SRRV, and that's what's going on. And I don't know, I've heard like they're doing it because Chinese or because of this or that. I don't know. It doesn't say any of that here. I'm kind of scanning through it. But okay, wait, hold on. It says something about Chinese. Let me see. Records presented during the DOT budget deliberated by at the Senate showed that 27,678 the top Chinese tops foreign nationals could who choose the Philippines for their retirement, and the majority of them are 35 years old. So I think this was like a red flag for the Philippines. So they saw that there's a bunch of young Chinese coming in and doing this SRVV, and they're like, hold up, stop what you're doing, stop. And so now they're going to change the age requirement and possibly the deposit requirement. Aside from the Chinese nationals, here we go right here. Aside from the Chinese nationals from the People's Republic of China, the foreign retirees population Philippines is comprised of 14,000 South Koreans, 6,000 Indians, 4,000 Taiwanese, 4,000 Japanese, 3,000 Americans, 1,000 Chinese nationals from Hong Kong, and 1,000 British, 792 Germans, and blah, 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 blah nationals. So, yeah, that's what's happening with that. I think if you're already there, you're good, but they're suspending any new issuances of it. So, all right, just wanted to kind of talk about that. Let me see. A couple people said, Big Truck Series says, when I was last in Philippines, the Chinese were everywhere. Same for when I was in South Korea. Yeah, when I was in Thailand, actually, the Chinese were like everywhere, man. I think it's because they're having an economic boom and they're middle class. I don't know if you guys knew this, but they're middle class. The Chinese, get this, the Chinese middle class is larger than the entire population of America. Yeah. So now that they have money, they're like going abroad, like they're traveling, they're living that good life. So they were in Thailand chilling, like all over Thailand. They were in Bangkok, they were in Pattaya, they were chilling everywhere. And so yeah, I guess Big Truck says they were everywhere in the Philippines. I was there for a short period of time, like a year and a half ago, I think. In 2018, I think I went there. And I don't recall seeing any, but I was only there for like a few days. So Mr. Mike T Man says the requirements are being changed because the Chinese nationals are taking advantage of the Philippines and flooding the PI and taking over. Yeah, that's what it sounds like in that article. Yeah, that's crazy, man. That's crazy. Big Truck. So getting off on other random topics here. Big Truck Series says, Bruce, your PC fan is screaming. It's overheating. Are you on a PS5? Nah, man, I got an old computer that overheats really fast. Can you guys hear it? Can you? And maybe I should turn my mic down a bit. Yeah, crazy. Big Truck Series says, is one of your or Yuri's issues that you want distance from her family? That's actually a very good question. That's there's certain people, but I for me personally, it's the issue is beyond just family. It's those top three issues. It's overcrowding, the poverty level, and the issues that you have with the infrastructure and the government and stuff like that is my personal problem. We do talk about the family issues and stuff like that. That is an issue, but to be honest with you, I think it's that is doable. It's under our control. You know, we can have as much or as little interaction as we want with the family. I think Yuri would be more enticed to like spend lots of more time with him and stuff, but that would be like my number 10 item on the list, you know. But you know, if it's easy for me to cut somebody off, you know. You know, I got like a little switch I could just turn on and off. So me personally, it's not gonna be an issue for me. But Yuri, yeah, I would be a little concerned. But I think after a while, certain people being users and stuff, she'd be done with them. Because I mean, once she's done, she's really done with people. Big Truck Series says China has 13 to 21 year olds than American. They have more 13 to 21 year olds than America has citizens. Wow, it's insane. Wow. Random says, Bruce, much love, man. I have to get out of here, man. Hey, take it easy, man. Take it easy. Yeah, let me see what other topics I was gonna cover. That was a good one. Glad I was able to sort that out. What I want to do is take a look at some comments. I've been neglecting my comments lately. I just haven't had the time to deal with it. But right now I'm gonna do this live. Now keep in mind, I'm seeing this for the first time. So if you see anything extremely offensive, it ain't my fault. It's not my fault. So let's see. My man Daryl Charity, good man, really good man. This guy donates a lot of hard-earned money to people all over the world. It's good, really good heart, really good person. He says, hey Bruce, hey Yuri, hope you all are doing well. At some point the Philippines will have to open up to tourism and or the economy will implode. Yeah, wow. Yeah, somebody on Discord was put up a really good article about how Thailand and the Philippines are really suffering from the lack of tourism, and Thailand in particular went from millions of people coming into their country and getting that money to thousands. So big hit on the economy, and I don't know how much of this any of us can take, you know, especially kind of newly developing countries. Like they can't take much more of this. Let me see. Cult Fighter. That's a very apt name. Says fake news on one of our old videos about our recent videos about international travel stopped for American COVID-19. No, it's true, man. Like there's certain places you can't go as an American. That's all we were saying in the video. But yeah, go ahead and try it. I mean, maybe I'm wrong. Go for it. Big Truck Series says, that was me with Thailand article. Yeah, man, that was a great article. I love that one. Me Lyra says, what I heard is after Balik Bayan, the foreign spouse will be allowed this December 7th. They're looking forward for the foreigners to have inbound flights in the Philippines. They're just wanted to see what's going on first after December 7th. Still hoping for inbound. Yeah, I hope you're right, Lyra. I really hope you're right about that. Good information. ASMR, let me see, says, okay, I think this is just a dude trying to get a follow back or something. Oh, wait, nope. Great one, love it, epic job, fam. You definitely got my support. Let's be on YouTube, friends. Okay, I don't know, that's just random. Thumbs up anyway. It's a positive spam message. Let me see. This mess has to stop. I agree. Let me see. Okay. Here's one. This one's talking about. I said my Filipina will not accept money. All right. Yeah. This is a video we did about how my wife. Oh well, before she was my girlfriend at the time, Yuri would not. It was hard to there was some bumping heads between me giving her money and her taking the money. And then Instigator, a friend of mine, a acquaintance of mine I've been knowing for 2-3 years here on YouTube, said the same thing. His wife would not take money for some reason, pride or something, I don't know. But Jonan says a decent Filipina will not accept money on a regular basis. My wife is extremely independent. This needs to be pointed out, thus breaking the stereotype that all Filipinos are gold diggers. Great video, guys. Merry Christmas. Yeah, there's a very negative stereotype of Filipinas in particular, and we're not, a lot of people, we caught a lot of flack of people thinking that we're trying to perpetuate that image of Filipinas. No, what we want to do is highlight the ones who are bad, because those ones that are bad are giving the good ones a bad name. And I think that was kind of lost on a lot of people who are not our fans or not our followers and don't care about anything we say. But they heard that one thing one time we commented on the bad Filipinas and took that as we think all Filipinos are bad or something, or we're racist or some stupid crap like that, which is not true at all. We love the Philippines. We start businesses in the Philippines. We help Filipinos out. We care about the plight of the people, very, very much so. So yeah, that's not us. But as far as his comment saying that it's a negative stereotype that needs to be put away, that is absolutely true, because I met some incredible people, Filipinos there, brilliant, genius, hard workers, awesome people, respectful, loving, happy even in hard times, and Filipinas who will do anything for the person they love, for their family. And if you're their family, of course that includes you. So that's been my experience with Filipino people. So that's been my experience, But that said, we want to steer people. We know a lot of guys who are trying to have a spouse in the Philippines, men and women, gay and straight, who are over there trying to find love abroad, and we're just trying to warn them, not everything over there is paved in gold. You know what I mean? There's some bad people there, just like here. There's some bad people here who are not out for your best intentions, and you got to watch out for them, just like there's bad people over there. I think that would be obvious, but it's just people expect us to say all good things, and that's just not the case about any place. So we're just trying to warn people, hey, there's a whole bunch of Filipino scammers, and they will take your money. Like, we're trying to warn people and say, hey, listen, here's the signs you need to watch out for, right? Watch out for these signs. That's not to say that there's not good ones. So, you know, I know I'm preaching to the choir, and somebody's going to see this and still find something negative about it. So be it. I can't control how people think and feel. So, you know, it is the way it is. Let me see. People in agrarian cultures expect a man to be the breadwinner and the woman to be the homemaker. Was that based off of another comment? Hold on, let me back up here. Big Truck Series says Southeast Asian women are going to be desperate for a foreign husband soon. The situation there is expected by the UN to be a catastrophe. It's gonna be pretty bad. I mean, it's not gonna be pretty bad. It's bad right now. I mean, it's really bad. I mean, as bad as the U.S. has it with people fighting masks, anti-maskers, and having the highest number of deaths and the highest number of people infected. The state of Colorado has more people infected and dying than I think the country of the Philippines. Yeah, of the Philippines, of most Southeast Asian countries, and including Korea and Taiwan. Just the state of Colorado. It's bad. It's bad here. But as bad as it is here, and the economy's jacked up. Like, that's the residual effects of this whole thing, is the economy is getting really messed up. But as bad as we have it, there's so many different legs on the table of this economy that we're gonna recover. Like, it's not gonna be pretty, but we're gonna recover. But I don't know how fast that recovery is gonna be. That said, it's not even nearly as bad as what's going to happen in some of these other countries, like India, who has extreme poverty in the millions, and the Philippines, and some other countries are really going to get hit hard with this. You know, and I don't know what they're going to do, to be honest. As bad as we have it, they have it way worse. You know, have it way worse. I mean, they're trying to restrict them from going from place to place. I mean, it's bad. It's really bad. All right, let me get back to my comments here. Let me see here. Let me see. I got Richard talking about our long distance relationship video that we did years and years ago. He says, great advice to become one united, healthy couple with understanding and respect. Absolutely. Super duper important to be a team. That's the one thing that we've been promoting all these years, is just to be a team. That really helps. That mentality of being a team really, really has helped us out even now to get through really hard times. And hard times emotionally, you know, hard times financially. When you're a team, you have the same. Oh crap! When you're a team, you have the same goals. You have the same. You have the same problems that you have to solve together. You know, so it's super important to be a team and to. Sorry about that. The light fell down. To be a team and to own the problem together, and that has helped us to get through super bad emotional times for her, for my wife, when we were apart and when we were together. Like, most of the hard times actually happened when we were together, to be honest with you. Like, the really hard times for Yuri and I happened when we were together, you know, dealing with my crazy ass ex-wife, dealing with my kids, you know, and then for the other side is me, you know, coping with family issues in the Philippines, coping with the issues in the Philippines, coping with, like, but when we took it on as a couple, as a unit, as a team, it's instead of me saying, hey, that's your problem, or figure it out, or just don't talk to them no more. You know what I mean? Instead of doing that, I listen to her. I'm like, you know, what can we do to help? What can we do, right? That we is super important. What can we do to get through this together? Because this is our family. We're married now. You know, that's my in-laws over there. How can we help? What can we do together to help them? And you know what? My wife does the same thing for me. Like when my mom is had knee surgery, she's like, what can we do for you, Mom? What can we do for you, Mom? And can we come over there? Can we help you out, Mom? Do you need us to fly over there? She did this for my mom, right? That's how we talk. And that has helped us with, to be honest with you, the hardest thing is not long distance. Like long distance is going to happen. Like you get through that. Like it has a beginning, middle, and end. But when you get together, some of your hardest battles are going to be fought when you're together, not long distance. And when you get together, like that's when it's the most important time you have to have that we is when you're together. So, you know, I just want to really reiterate that and say like that team mentality is super duper important. You know, what can we do to help our family? What can we do to help your family, our family? You know what I mean? When you have that mentality, it just makes you think completely different as a couple. So yeah, if nothing else, I hope you guys listen to that out there. Bruce Charity, Daryl Charity says, hey Bruce, hey Yuri. He's talking about the time we had a trip to Aspen, Colorado like a month ago, I think. He says, hey Bruce and Yuri, hope you guys are doing well. That really looks like a beautiful, quiet place. Yeah, it was really nice. A lot of rich, stuck up people there, but other than that, it's a nice place. We can all use a nice, quiet place from all this craziness. Absolutely, had a great time over there. I have to go there one of these days when it's time for skiing or something like that. Man, how do I fix this thing? I have some issues with my main camera over here, as you could probably tell. Okay, autofocus. Come on, man. And now you don't want to work no more. Damn. This is why you have to have like a third person to help you with all this stuff. What other questions did I have here? Hope you guys are having a good night. Getting late. Gotta go. See you later, Kev. Take it easy, man. Thank you for visiting me. Appreciate you. Ephraim says, what's up, fellas? Where are you in the Philippines? I'm actually in Colorado, USA. That's where I'm at. Colorado, USA. Living my best life. It's great over here. And I don't know how many people follow me who are in the Philippines, to be honest with you. Most of those guys follow people who are in the Philippines. Most of the people in the Philippines are following people in the Philippines. No, it sounds crazy, but all right, this thing is done. Okay, let me see what other questions. Mr. Mikey Man says a Panay family is very important to her. Family, including yours, will be very important to her. Absolutely. I mean, like a lot of not just Americans, but a lot of Westerners, Europeans, Australians, UK, Americans, Canadians, they complain about how their wife is sending money home to the family and taking care of the family and all this kind of stuff. And my thing is like, listen, isn't that why you're married to a Filipina or a Filipino? Because they think different. Because in their culture, family comes first. Well, guess what? Now you're part of their family, right? So that means you are top of the food chain in their life. You're the sun in their solar system. You know what I mean? You're their family now.
So why would you complain about that? That's why you got married to a Filipino citizen, is because they think different than us. So I don't understand why they suddenly start crying about their Filipina sending money home or whatever, you know. My thing, and then another thing is like some Westerners don't want their Filipina to send money home. Like they'll get mad about their interaction and I don't understand it. I don't understand it. Did you know what you were marrying into? Did you know their culture? Do you know how important the family is? And then some don't even want to take the time to be there for their wife emotionally, right? That's why you're married to her. As the man, you have to, that emotional stability is why they're with you 90% of the time. It's not, money can only take you so far, man. Like if it's just money or sex or something, like that's only going to take you so far, right? I mean, because they can get that from other places. But there's one thing that they can only get from you, and that's your love. I know it sounds corny, but that's the truth. The one thing they can get from you that they can't get from no one else is your empathy and your love. And if you can't get that to them, they're going to find that somewhere else. And if they do that, it's game over. It's game over for you and your relationship. That's just my 2 cents. It's something I've seen over and over again with a lot of couples. You know, once you lose their heart, you know, that's something you can't get back. You know what I mean? So everything else comes and goes, but that one unique thing that you have as a man in the family is that you have a rock steady love and emotion for them. If you can't give that, man, that's the main special sauce. Everything else is just bells and whistles, man. And everything else fades away. Everything else changes, but that's the one thing that doesn't have to change. Like it can change. It can get better, you know. But hey, don't listen to me. I don't know nothing. All right, guys, that's it for me. Thank you guys for visiting. I appreciate everybody. And I just wanted to, I haven't done a video in a long time. So, and the reason why I got so many more comments here, but the reason I haven't done a video in a long time is because we're doing renovations in our house. And so we have changed stuff around and stuff. And I mean, you saw last time I was doing a video in my closet. So you'll see those videos getting released over time, but that's what's happening. And, that's it for me, guys. I know it's super late in the East Coast. So I'm going to cut this one short. Spend time with my wife. I appreciate everybody. Really appreciate all you guys. Thanks for all the positivity. Thank you for all the love over the years. It's not